What is going on, YouTube? This is more of a video than it is a live stream, so go ahead and go in. I'm in my car chilling. But yeah, this is more of a video than it is a live stream. And it's you guys see the title. The title is Polight. Enqi says that you're living off of planners. And I think that that's 150% true. Fuck that. That shit is 200% true. I think that it's very telling that most of the things that we say and do in regards to this whole situation is based off of the things that you guys say about each other. Like earlier today, or maybe last night, I got a comment, and the comment was speaking on Enqi, calling him the minister, and saying how he never stole anyone's laptops and things of that nature. And that's where, guys, where people get confused with us at, and get confused with me at here at Shame TV. East Watch. People get confused and start to think and assume that I'm saying he's doing these things. I'm saying it, but I'm only repeating what's been said. I'm only repeating what Sarnetta himself broke and told everyone. Sarnetta is one of the first. Sarnetta and Polight are the first two people to call Enqi laptop. It wasn't me. It wasn't anyone else. It was Sarnetta, mainly. If anyone is giving information out about people, you guys are doing it about each other and to each other. Now, I only did the video because I wanted to do a follow-up to the one that I just did and keep my foot on the pedal and the pressure on these people. And right now, the point of focus is Minister Enqi. And Minister Enqi, you said that Polight's organization, which is New Covenant, was corrupt. You even went so far as to give an example of what you thought was a corrupt organization that you were already engaged in. And then you use New Covenant as an exact example of a corrupt organization that you left. On top of that, you began to expose New Covenant for the frauds that they were, and the frauds that the whole organization is. And the fraud meaning how they go to these debates and argue about triple gene this and endorphins that and the woman this and this and the third, and all the while you're doing all this powerful lecturing and powerful arguing, you're scamming the fuck out of people. That's a damn shame. Shame. Now we have to be truthful here and up front, Enqi. What's even more of a shame is the fact that the information that I'm bringing for the next week or so is only going to be the things that you said. And anyone who knows me here at Shame TV, Derek Jones Talks 2, Derek Jones Talks Live, go subscribe. Anyone who knows me here knows that I don't need to play 20 minutes of audio or 10 minutes of footage. I don't need to do all that. All I need to take is small key points that you were making Leave them in context. Now, at other shows, you may get things out of context. Here on Shame TV's Watch, even if I'm making a joke about it, it's in context. I'm not totally taking someone out of context and adding something here to make them say, shut the fuck up, when they really said shut, and then they said fuck somewhere else, and I'm adding it together, and then they said up, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to keep everything in context now. And Minister Enqi, you said the whole organization was corrupt. You didn't say that New Covenant needed a little work. You didn't say that New Covenant was an up-and-coming organization if they could get a few things in order. That's not what you said. Shame. You said that New Covenant was corrupt. A corrupt organization that you could not participate in any longer. Shame. Now, as for the Grand Epicet, Magistry, Illustrious, Nisut. Shame. Minister Enqi, you had a few choice words for the Nisut. To be specific, Enqi, you said that Polight, especially, you prefaced it with especially, you said Polight especially is living off of selling black people back into bondage. Shame. I'm going to repeat. Minister Enqi, you said, Enqi, that Polight especially, you prefaced it with especially, Polight especially was living off of selling black people back into bondage. Now, why did I go over this again? I made 2 separate videos about 2 separate comments that you made, because I don't need 1,000 audio. Footage, 1,000 minutes of audio. You said enough in about 25 seconds worth of speaking. So, we've already dissected the first part. You openly called New Covenant a fraudulent organization. That's a definitive statement, and I'm going to take you on that, Enqi, because you're a minister and you're not a dumb guy. Secondly, you prefaced the comment saying especially, and then you referred to Polight as in a person who is making a living off of selling black people into bondage. Now, Enqi, I challenge you. When did Polight change? When did he change from making a living on selling black people back into bondage? When did he switch from making a living on selling black people back into bondage into not doing that? We need to know, when did it happen? Because obviously, for you to engage Polight as far as defending him, running around looking like the ultimate sidekick, the ultimate fucking Robin, you're running around following this dude, and you've yet to see, this is where you guys keep coming into problems with little pages like mine. You come into the problems with little pages like mine because you you insist on moving on without addressing things that need to be addressed. If you're going to engage someone in some sort of beef where you're talking about this person's a thief. People are calling you a thief, saying you're stealing laptops, G. Then you have other people running around saying this and that and third about you. Then you yourself are calling these same individuals frauds, scams, scam artists, and the whole 9 yards. So when are these things going to be addressed and cleared up? If you're going to hang with each other, you're going to clear the air, you must clear the air totally. You must come out and say, listen, I don't know why I said New Covenant wasn't a scam organization or fraudulent organization. I shouldn't have compared it to another fraudulent organization that I was a part of and got it out of, and then directly referred it to this one. I shouldn't have said Polight was living off of scamming people basically and selling back black people back into bondage. I shouldn't have said those things because they weren't true. I just made them up because I was emotional. Not once did Minister Enqi, did you come out and you say anything remotely close to that. Not one time. So, if you're not going to come out and address these things, don't get mad when people are making videos about these things. You can clear the air. Now it's for you, Cavity, the illustrious Cavity. The illustrious Cavity. Enqi said that you living off of selling black people back into bondage. Now, what does living off of something mean, people? Here on Shame TV East Watch, all my calculated shame givers, we're literate. We're not in want for comprehension skills. So if someone was to say, hey man, you're living off of that woman, we all know what that means. This person's day-to-day life maintenance and sustenance is based off of this woman. If we say, hey lady, you're living off of your mother, we know that this woman's basic daily maintenance and sustenance is taken care of and provided for by her mother, more than likely. So Polight, when Enqi says that you are living off of selling black people into bondage, that is very telling. That is also very shameful. Now let's dive deeper into this, shall we? Enqi says that you're living off the people. Right now, we're coming into the summer months. And since the beginning of winter, there has been a full-on onslaught against Brother Polight and all the lies and stories that he's told. 1 minute, he's a baller who's worth $3.4 million. Minutes later, he's merely a beggar begging you for attorney fees and other things. Very shameful. Very shameful. 1 minute, he's back on top of the world, being hated on by everyone. The next minute, he's being attacked by PayPal and the police. PayPal and the police are now working in tandem to bring down Brother Polight. When the heat thickens, the pressure builds. People want to know, what are you doing, Polight? How are you making money? How come people are complaining that they never got products from you? On and on and on. And what happens next? A police brutality supposed campaign that no one has heard a single solitary word about since his mock press conference. Then we go back to semi-addressing all the people who have been addressing him. But in typical Polight fashion, what does he do? He avoids the point. He avoids specifics. And what we've learned from Polight so far now, he will do every and anything under the sun except be specific.
Shame.
So what do we have here?
Shame.
We have a person with something you guys are familiar with me saying here on Shame TV. You are familiar with it on Derek Jones Talks. We have a person with personal, first-hand knowledge that Polight's New Covenant organization was fraudulent. We also have another another witness with personal first-hand knowledge to attest that Polight is indeed living off the people and not off of any sort of businesses that he runs and or owns that generate money, which monies he lives off of. So all in all, we now know that Polight, you are, as Kev Gill said, living in timeshares. I agree with that 1,000%. I see you living in a timeshare the same way you see me having a beard in the mirror when I look in the mirror. I can see that easily. I can see why you keep Enqi around. Because Enqi can really bring you down. Minister Enqi, as customary here at Shame TV, Eastwatch, before I bring the hammer,
Shame. Shame.
I always extend the olive branch. Please get in contact with me, Minister Enqi, if you feel that I'm incorrect in my assessments of you. I do not feel and or see how I can be incorrect in my assessments of you, in my assessments of Polight. I stated that Minister Enqi has been compromised, that Minister Enqi is not a rich man and was not a rich man. Neither am I. So I am not passing judgment or throwing stones. I am simply saying I know how it feels to not have a lot of money. I know how it feels to want and to know that you deserve more. I understand, Enqi. So that's why here at Shame TV, the customary olive branch has been extended. You will have to walk the walk of shame, Enqi, for what you have done. Because you knowingly aided and abetted a fucking criminal. You aided and abetted, as you put it, a person who is living off of selling black people back into bondage. Isn't this what the whole House of Consciousness was supposed to be against?
Shame. Shame. Shame.
Isn't this what all of this teaching, all of these teachings, and all of this science that I keep hearing about? All this science, wasn't all of this stuff supposed to be a unity building thing to keep us away from bullshit? How can 1 second, Enqi, you sit here and call this man whole entire organization a fraud, and then preface your comment saying, especially this individual is making a living, which means all those rented i8 Beamers, all those rented timeshares, all those gold shoes and gold belts and courtside ticket that you scalped and gotten and all that bullshit, all those weaves, all that shit came off of people who believed in you guys as scientists and teachers and people who were here for black people in unity. I did two videos, Enqi. This will be the third. Polight. Enqi said you living off of the people. Enqi's a witness with personal first-hand knowledge that you are indeed living off of the people. Enqi has to be a witness with personal first-hand knowledge that you're living off the people because he's with you every day. He's with you all the time. Enqi, you can bring this down and you can build your own shit. You know how many people would fuck with you, Stinky Enqi? Come on, man. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Polight, you need to explain why Enqi said that you're living off of selling black people back into bondage. What could he mean by that? What could Enqi possibly fucking mean by that? Could he mean that everything that everybody says about you is true? Could he mean that it is true that you and Sarnetta would stage your debates to make yourself look good, basically so you could do whatever you want to do, which is the complete opposite of what you say you were doing? Is it true that you've been scamming people all along and Enqi was one of the first people who brought this out long before Pharaoh did, and he knows about it and you've been getting away and now you need him with you to make sure he doesn't tell on you? Is it true, Polight, that all the shit that you have is nothing more than donations that you take in from PayPal and Patreon and all these things and all these fake websites and fake businesses and corporations? And what kind of man who only has $3.5 million has all these administrators and case workers? They must be working for free. You're fucking full of shit, and Enqi let us know that you were full of shit. This is not me saying Polight's full of shit, guys. This is a witness with personal first-hand knowledge, Enqi, who's saying that Polight, you are living off of scamming the people. Like, comment, share, subscribe. This wasn't a real live. This is like a video. I just wanted to do it live just to fuck around. Peace, people.